I think I could carve this one up and make a boat out of it. Welcome back to Life to the Max. So many things to do in the fall, and isn't it the best time of the year to do just about anything? Like jump in a hot air balloon? That's what our Dan Monsky decided to do.
Often as children, and rarely as adults, do we evaporate our consciousness from our terrestrial existence on Earth and escape to another world, a world where we float on air at the whim of the winds. Yeah, a little dreamy, huh? But actually, a tangible place near to home. Let's go for a fantasy ride.
We have been flying in this area for 15 to 20 years, all of our pilots, over the St. Croix Valley, which I think is one of the most beautiful places in the country to fly. Actually in the world to fly. The St. Croix Valley is incredible. Once you get up in the air, you can't get away from it. The main season is April through October. That's when everybody wants to go and everything is lush and green. And winter flying is a blast. If somebody wants to go in the winter, we'll take them.
Scott took me on a tour to satisfy my curiosity about the equipment. Holy cow, that's a huge gondola compared to like this one. Tell me about the size factor.
Well, we happen to have, these are the two sizes that we use, and it works out really well for couples because this basket here is, it's actually made for 10 people, but we only put 8 in it because we like the intimate experience.
I wouldn't have expected to see an actual cockpit instrument.
Yeah, you know, it's a very simple system. There's very little that can go wrong. That's one of the reasons it's such a safe sport. And we use wicker for a reason. It's because it's one of the strongest but yet most flexible materials that we've found to use. It's all handmade wicker baskets, and it's been that way for a long time. And you couldn't use something like fiberglass because obviously in the wintertime you come in for a landing and it's just going to shatter. So the wicker stays flexible year-round.
That's interesting that something from the early age of ballooning has stuck around just because of the simplicity of the material.
Yeah, and even the craftsmanship of the basket itself is amazing when you look at how well made that is.
It's almost like a piece of furniture.
Yeah.
I connected with my pilot and went through a weather report for our flight. What have you got the balloon for?
This is just an indicator. It lets us see what the winds are doing from ground level up to a few hundred feet. We can usually keep sight of the helium balloon. Lets us know the wind speed and direction and whether or not it's going to be too windy or what the directions are going to go before we take off.
Enough of the technical side. Let's get to the fun. All right, going for a ride. Whoa, what an incredible view. You can really feel that heat.
You can pull on that vent and dump out that heat so it gets rid of that ascent and starts your descent much earlier.
All right, so there isn't anything that says release the vent on this side, release the vent on that side. You go right, you go left.
Nope, no left or right. Balloons are kind of like sailboats. As far as when we're in the air, we have the right of way over airplanes. And as far as other balloons go, the balloon underneath has the right of way. So if he starts going up, we have to get out of his way. The larger the balloon, the reaction time is much slower. This is like driving a sports car compared to a semi, that is. Anticipate a little bit more.
Anticipate your maneuvers.
A lot sooner.
A lot more.
Yep, quite a bit sooner.
It's so incredible what you get to see from above that you never get to see this perspective. Wow, I was so absorbed that I completely forgot about the ground crew. Someone has to follow us the whole way since we don't have control over where we're going to land.
The best part about hot air ballooning is that it gives people a chance to kind of escape from the world for just even an hour, hour and a half. When you're up in the air, it's as if you're suspended over the earth and the earth is moving under you. So it's just kind of this quiet reprieve from daily life. And I think that is a hot commodity these days because people need that.
Lindsay says often customers call and mistakenly think the ride is going to be rough like a roller coaster.
It's very, very serene. You're going with the wind, so you're never feeling the wind in your face. You're not, you're gently ascending and descending, so it's always a very gentle experience. And yeah, it's not as crazy as it might seem. It's like an adventure sport.
Come in nice and level like this, get it nice and smooth, start dragging to bleed off some speed, and now we're on the ground. The most I've flown is 13 out of 14 flights. We can fly once in the morning, once in the evening.
Jim explained that the sun heats up the earth after early morning and before sunset, which creates unstable air masses and wind patterns called thermals. Bad conditions for ballooning. I wondered what had the greatest impact on other passengers during their flight.
You know, I was surprised at how slow it went. You know,
There wasn't much wind.
There wasn't much wind.
We also went over the prison, which was really cool. We couldn't see St. Paul at 500 feet very well, but then at 1,500 feet we could see St. Paul. So it's kind of cool to see how things change.
I'd say from the revelry and the buzz in the air, hot air ballooning is a thrill for anyone. Get your ticket.
When we come back, we'll finish up this edition of Life to the Max. Stay with us.
Life to the Max is brought to you by Life Touch, photography for a lifetime.